So, how do you cope with pregnancy announcements? I think the simple answer is with difficulty. It seems to me to be something that happens that, it becomes increasingly painful the more you go on not getting pregnant yourself. That if you really want a baby and you've been trying for some time and you're realizing it's not working, it's not happening, you start to become upset, worried, anxious, distressed and distraught about this. Something's not right, it's not happening, and you don't know quite why, or maybe you do know why, and that doesn't help either. But the more you go on, month after month, sometimes year after year, not getting pregnant while all around you are, those pregnancy announcements become more and more painful and more distressing. How do you cope with it? I don't know. I guess you could, if you've got friends that you know are trying, you might have a word with them, a quiet word, and say, look, please don't invite me to dinner with all your friends and make a big announcement at the dinner party because I'm likely to cry and run out of the room. Please don't announce it at work, this is a colleague. If you could let me know quietly, so at least I can be prepared, or at least I can choose whether I want to be present at that announcement. Or maybe just, I don't know, some announcements come unexpectedly. There is no preparation for it. It's on Facebook, or, suddenly someone just announces it. How do you cope with it? It's difficult. The truth is it's difficult. And I guess you just have to find your own ways of, absenting yourself from the situation as quickly as you can if you can feel yourself wanting to cry. And maybe just, just avoiding those situations as best you can, if you know it's going to be painful for you. There isn't really a simple answer, to be honest with you. There isn't really a simple answer. And then how do you tell other people what you're going through? Now, this varies enormously. Some people are extremely private and they don't want anyone to know their private business. And that's their prerogative. And if you don't want to talk to anyone else, you don't have to. If you don't want to tell people your business, you don't have to. And there's no problem with that. That's up to you. The tricky thing with that is that if you go through a whole load of treatment and then it doesn't work and you're really distraught, you haven't got anyone kind of lined up or prepared to help support you through it. So it might be worth choosing one or two very close, trusted friends or family members that you can talk to. Other people are the opposite. They tell everybody everything. They're like so thrilled and so excited that finally they've found what's wrong and they're going to have this treatment, and these wonderful, marvelous doctors and nurses and medical people and embryologists are going to make them a baby, and they're so thrilled and excited and happy about it that they go around telling everybody. Everybody at work, all their neighbours, all their friends, all their family, everyone. And even so much as giving them a blow-by-blow account of what's happening and how they're getting on and when the embryo is going to be transferred, because at some level they think it's going to work. They truly think it's going to work. And so then 2 weeks later, they do the pregnancy test and, oh no, it's negative. And the shock is huge and the distress is profound. And yet now they might have 20 people texting them, WhatsApping them, calling them, asking them, how did it go? How did it go? Did it work? Did it work? You know, and they got to say again and again and again, it didn't work, it didn't work, it's failed, it's failed, it's failed. And that is too much for most people. They realise the error of their ways at that point, that perhaps they shouldn't have quite told so many people, and the next time round they're a little bit more circumspect about who they talk to and who they tell what to. And for some people, they just don't let them even know that they're going through treatment. Or if they do, they're just they tell a few people who they trust and who they would turn to if they need support. But they might be a bit general. So nobody's actually going to know the date when they do the test, so that they can at least give themselves a few days to recover from the, reeling from the distress, and they can compose themselves, and then they can tell those few people it hasn't worked, and we're not pregnant.